in. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Allison Keyes. The U.S. House has passed the Ukraine aid section of a $95 billion foreign aid package, which includes funding for Israel despite opposition. Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene spoke forcefully against it.
Every single one of us would be demanding peace in Ukraine between these countries, peace for these people, so that no more of them have to die. But you never hear anybody demanding peace. No. Peace is the last thing Washington wants because it doesn't fit the business model.
House Speaker Mike Johnson got a green light from President Biden and put it on the floor despite worries about keeping his job.
On this vote, the ayes are 360 and the nays are 58. The bill is passed without objection.
The House also voted to ban TikTok in the U.S. if the social media platform's Chinese owners don't sell their stake within a year. Desperate content creators are begging President Biden to stop this from happening. Overnight, the Senate renewed legislation the government says helps fight terrorism. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
It was an overwhelming bipartisan vote of 60-34, and Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was quite pleased.
Democrats and Republicans came together and did the right thing for our country's safety. It wasn't easy. People had many different views, but we all know one thing. Letting fires expire would be dangerous.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan praised the Senate's vote, calling the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act one of the United States' most vital intelligence collection tools.
25 years ago today, the Columbine High School massacre shocked the nation as 2 high school students killed 12 others and a teacher. A vigil last night honored the victims. Former Arizona Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who started fighting for gun control after she was nearly killed in a mass shooting, was among the speakers.
Change doesn't happen overnight, and we can't do it alone. Join me, let's move ahead together.
Heads up, Tesla drivers. The company is recalling nearly 4,000 of its newly launched 2024 Cybertrucks over a faulty accelerator pedal. CBS's Jeff Glore.
The company says the pedal pad can dislodge and get stuck inside a piece of trim when pressed down. This could potentially cause the truck to speed up and increase the risk of a crash. Tesla says there have been no reports of crashes or injuries related to the issue.
Former President Trump and the Republican National Committee are set to unleash some 100,000 volunteers to monitor vote counting in battleground states. Trump still falsely says the 2020 election was stolen, and there have been worries about voter intimidation. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to CleanOrigin.com. Founded by a leading family in the diamond industry for more than a century, we're experts in lab-grown diamonds because that's all we do. Clean Origin, the only diamond jewelers who give you a 100-day, no questions asked return on your purchase. Head to CleanOrigin.com or one of our retail stores and mention code Radio10 for 10% off your purchase. That's CleanOrigin.com, code Radio10.
Hope you've got your lighter.
April 20th is when students gather on campus in clouds of smoke, and pot shops in legal weed states thank customers with discounts. The annual event is observed as a way to celebrate marijuana use, evolving state to state.
The fanfare for a lot of the long-standing states has died down a little bit. It's not as shiny and new, but in newer states, it is a massive celebration.
How 420 got started. Senior editor of Marijuana Venture magazine, Patrick Wagner, says take your pick.
Started with this group of stoners in San Francisco. It used to be the police code for smoking marijuana. And another one was that after high school, all the cool kids would meet behind the gymnasium at 420, and it just became a code for it.
Stephen Kaufman, CBS News.
In the middle of the night,
Taylor Swift fans losing their minds again as the superstar releases her 11th album, The Tortured Poets Department, and then another one 2 hours later. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Sorry, but we actually have a...
Broadcasting live from the palatial studios of KOKC in Oklahoma City, it's McRoof Talks Insurance, an abbreviated half-hour program today to make way for OU baseball at 1:30. I'm Rick Allen Lippert here with restoration specialist and Hall of Fame remodeler Scott McCollum.
Good afternoon, sir.
And also here is the next generation HAAG-certified roof inspector Scotty McCollum.
Hi there, Rick.
Running man Eric Yandel is the wizard on the other side of the glass. He will answer your call to 405-478-1520. We are live streaming the show on the McRoof Talks Insurance YouTube channel. Wave, guys. Yeah, I think, we're streaming. And, okay, but we will be, it's an abbreviated show, but we will start with our trivia question. You know, it's a one-act show today, brought to you without commercial interruptions, but with all of the regular features. We'll start with our trivia question and the word of the week while we wait for your call. That number again, 405-478-1520. And Scotty's view from the rooftop. We'll also have that in this week's episode. Scotty and Johnny, when inspecting a customer's roof, must contend with a strong natural force, the Kingfisher County wind. So, Scotty, what's the title?
Heels down, Johnny. Heels down.
Is that like flaps down?
Yeah. It reminds me of a book title of, oh gosh, I can't remember. It's Southern author. I forgot what his name. All of a sudden, I've blanked on his name. Don't bend over in the potato patch. Don't bend over in the garden, Ma. Them taters got eyes. Anyway, then we'll have our Before the Storm tip brought to you by Roof RX, and we'll wrap up with Dad's Wisdom brought to you by Energy Q. And the lawyer, he's on my back again to tell me that S&CM LLC, doing business as McRoof.us, legally operates under Oklahoma registration number 8000002, and that the registration applies to both residential and commercial roofing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and
Jerry will be happy.
Almost had that author's name again. I'll have it here in a moment because he had some great book titles.
I'm sure you. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to do? The trivia question?
Yeah, let's get that trivia question out there because people are going to have to call in a hurry if they want to win this thing.
All right, Scott, take it away.
What are 3 types of adjusters that we routinely encounter in our business activities? 3 types of adjusters.
Okay, the 3 types
and
of
this is not, I'm not looking for property adjuster, auto adjuster. That's not what I'm looking for.
Okay. So I'm McRoof.
My guess is out the window.
The 3 types of adjusters that McRoof typically deals with.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
And if you think you know the answer to that, 405-478-1520. The winner will get 2 free tickets to a Carpenter Square production remaining this season. We have the current play is tonight and next weekend. So you guys need to get out there and see this show because there's a roof involved.
I've heard.
And as she says, the guy says, there's a hole in your roof the size of a skateboard. All right, so Scotty, what's the word of the week?
Well, I did not come up with this, but this is I don't want to give too many hints, so we'll start with goat.
Goat.
Yeah.
Goat.
And not as in greatest of all time, not as in that little furry little farm animal. That's not what we're woolly little farm animal, whatever.
When do we find out what this means?
Well, I guess since it's an abbreviated...
Get to it, Scotty. Tell them what a goat is.
Well, a goat is actually a device used by roof inspectors, contractors, to safely inspect certain portions of a very steep roof.
Okay.
What it does is it looks almost like a pool man's cleaning cleaning pole with the net at the end attached to it. However, as opposed to the net, it has a hook which goes around at a certain angle the ridge top and hooks onto the other side, or has this sponge platform that provides traction and grip on the other side of the ridge from where the inspector is trying to inspect.
So this is a telescoping pole.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is a telescoping pole,
right,
and you telescope it out, and you hook it
over
the ridge. You pull it down to make sure that it's actually hooked on the ridge. And then, Scotty, don't they actually have little steps to be able to go up the roof once
They do. I don't know if that's an upgrade or if that's just... And nowadays, there's a couple different brands. There's the Goat, which is the original company that manufactured the Goat. There's also the Ridge Pro, which is a very similar device which has the ability to detach the pole. Maybe the Goat by now has the ability to detach the pole, where you can actually just hook the hook on the ridge top, clip a carabiner with a rope to the little hook where the pole connects, and then essentially rappel from that.
And so this goat allows us to safely maneuver and be able to do inspections, help an adjuster out. You know, some adjusters are not really comfortable on very steep roofs.
I can't imagine.
They'll use what's called a ladder assist, someone to help them do this. Those people all have goats or similar devices and that kind of thing. So that's
there's no such replacement for a permanent roof anchor.
Yeah, that was something that Scotty was talking about. He talked about how the goat has this newer version of it, has the ability to disconnect the hook and be able to attach lines to it. Okay, what Scotty would do if he's getting up on a roof, he's going to actually install an anchor on the roof. Okay, he's going to go up someplace where he can get up, go up a valley and up a hip, and to the top part of the roof, and he's going to permanently install an anchor, which are metal straps that you drive nails through
or screws
to be able to secure that, and then he'll attach his rope to that. So
I'm envisioning people who rappel up mountains.
Right.
That's what it looks like on some roofs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you talk about rope and harness, and I mean that's exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the safe way to be able to conduct these inspections and get what you need done.
So this goat apparatus is not something that one would get at your local big box store.
No, indeed. Usually, I think there's probably specialty retailers now that carry, or roofing supply houses that carry some of these devices, but the only time I've ever seen them has been online. Direct from the manufacturer.
Well, if I had a steep roof, I don't think I'd even want to get up there with one of these.
Well, we're not trying to educate you to where you think that you're foolhardy enough that you're going to go get a goat and get up on your 12 and 12 pitch roof. No, that's not what we're trying to do. We just want you to understand some of the things that. Yeah, exactly. We want you to understand the tools and the things that we run into and some of the things that we use to get the results for you. So.
Quite a special tool.
There you go.
Okay, the trivia question is still hanging out there. What are the three types of adjusters that McRoof typically deals with? That number again, 405-478-1520. And I need to remind you, where this is an abbreviated show today, we have to sign off in 20 minutes to make room for OU baseball.
Wow.
So don't delay if you think you want to call.
Less than that.
Well, that clock is wrong.
Okay.
Actually, it's 15. It's 16 minutes, not 20 minutes. That digital clock is even wronger.
Oh, that's funny.
High-tech radio.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay, so here's some fun stuff. It's always some kind of national day. It's Volunteer Recognition Day.
Okay.
And here's one I think you can appreciate: National Cheddar Fries Day.
I could celebrate that day.
Yeah. The third Saturday in April is always National Auctioneers Day. It's also National Pineapple Upside Down Cake. Day. And National Lima Bean Respect Day.
That's what I'm just sort of, the beans all got together and the Lima said, we ain't getting no respect. We need a day. Or I just can't imagine that.
And then if you
That's
know,
funny.
you know, it's 420 Day. So,
oh my gosh.
All right. So,
oh my gosh.
Scott, you also wanted to talk a little bit about CertainTeed.
Well, yeah, I do want to talk a little bit about CertainTeed. I mean, everyone that has listened for a long time knows, even though this is a different format for the show, knows that I'm a huge CertainTeed fan. You know, our good buddy Trevor Thompson has our territory manager, always done a great job for us, and we love the CertainTeed impact-resistant shingles. I think that, you know, our default as a company is a shingle that we call Northgate. That's CertainTeed's Northgate shingle. That's the modified SBS, modified asphalt polymer shingle that we've talked about for the last few years. And I've been putting Northgate shingles on roofs in North Texas and Oklahoma since 2018. We're now at 2024, and we have never replaced a Northgate roof.
No kidding.
Absolutely. We have never replaced a Northgate roof because of hail damage.
Wow.
And I have a lot of friends in the roofing business who they would never sell someone a Northgate shingle just for the fact that they don't think they'd ever get to replace it again, which kind of small-minded in my way of thinking.
Sure.
But, you know, we used to, Rick, when you and I first met, we talked a lot about Landmark IR.
Right.
And Landmark was the CertainTeed impact-resistant shingle that was our workhorse, that was our default shingle. Landmark was what was called a scrim technology. It was asphalt basically poured over a fiberglass scrim, okay, a mat. And the concept to the scrim technology was that the force of the impact from that hailstone was dispersed through that fiberglass scrim through the entire area of the shingle instead of being that point impact.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Well, now we have something that's significantly better than that as far as what the laboratory tests shown and what McRoof's results since 2018 have shown, and that's the Northgate shingle, the modified SBS shingle. You know, the laboratory tests said that shingle would outperform the old scrim technology by 30-35% in severe hail, which is hail over 2 inches.
Okay.
So if you've got something, we had never replaced a Landmark IR shingle for hail damage.
Oh my.
And yet here we have something that is going to outperform that by 30-35%.
My goodness.
So we made the decision that's what's in our customers, that's what our clients' best interest, that's what we need to do, and that's where we're steering them. Now our biggest issue there is really on the availability standpoint. That's the big struggle that we have. The Northgate shingle is very, very popular shingle. The Northgate weathered wood, which would be the most popular color, a little bit more difficult to come by, but we're making arrangements to have a truck or two of that available to us pretty much all of the time.
Good.
For our clients. The other shingle that we really love, Scotty, you can talk a little bit about Belmont IR.
Yes, well, Belmont IR is just a more premium look and a heavier shingle. It also mimics the look of an old slate roof without being an actual slate roof, because slate roofs are very, very expensive, very
heavy,
very delicate to maintain long term, and also, well, in our case, we just prefer using asphalt shingles. We prefer asphalt shingles to accomplish that look, and also the impact-resistant qualities that people often get with a premium grade material.
Okay.
You got a call out there?
Yeah, we do. We have our friend Benny on the phone. Hey, Benny.
Oh, really?
Are you taking a shot at the trivia question?
Yeah, I'll take a swing at it in my own words.
Well, remember, your batting average has been going down lately, so let's see how you do today.
So for the folks who have just maybe tuned in, what are the 3 types of adjusters that McRoof deals with?
knowledgeable and fair, average where you sort of so-so mid-range, and then the Ivan the Terrible types that you just can't hardly get anywhere with them because they don't want to pay a darn
Oh, man. That was a good guess, man.
Yeah. You know what? I would have to say, as far as a common sense answer, Benny, you just hit it out of the park.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, that's not the answer I'm looking for. But I'm not going to detract from I'm not going to knock your batting average down because of that. Because that was a great.
Well, it was accurate, just in a different sense.
Absolutely, totally accurate.
It's layman language as far as I.
A noble attempt, Benny. A noble attempt.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
Hey, we got.
I guess I get a B plus for best effort.
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there you go. We got to keep moving because as you know, we're on a short leash today. Thank you, Benny.
I'll be calling you Monday.
Sounds good, Ben.
Thanks,
good
Benny.
hearing from
Have a
you.
good weekend.
Okay. Well, we need to probably get up on the roof and see what Scotty's view is. Hang on. There we go.
were walking in the Alabama rain.
Our title of this week's View from the Rooftop, Heels Down, Johnny. Heels Down.
Yes, Rick. Well, this week's version could have also been alternatively named Hang On, Johnny. Just stay on the roof. Or something to that effect. So this week, Johnny and I went out to Kingfisher to inspect a couple different roofs for past customers that were installed last year, late in the year.
These were quality inspections, folks, that McRoof does after the fact.
Yes,
so.
yeah, that's a good point. We weren't looking for damage because we didn't think we would find any damage. It was simply a quality check. What day was that? It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday, and the wind, my goodness. We were in the little Tacoma on our way out from the city, and it was blowing that truck all over the road.
Oh, my goodness.
And I knew we'd be up for a little bit of a contest with Mother Nature, but we got up on that roof. The first one we got, the second one we got on was a low slope ranch house style roof. Very non-complex. The first roof, however, it was a 10 and 12 steepness, which is and partially a 12 and 12, although we didn't get on those portions.
Now, to the layperson,
45-degree angle is a 12 and 12 pitch.
Okay.
So a 10 and 12 is just a few degrees lower than that.
Okay.
So with the sustained 19-mile-an-hour wind, upwards of 31, 32 miles an hour gusts, which is 3 seconds or more, we had our work cut out for us. And Johnny, he had no issue. He strapped his cougar paws on. I did the same.
Cougar paws.
I would have been tempted maybe if it weren't so windy to not use my cougar paws because my boots are real good. But on a day like Wednesday, there was no other option.
Well, it is the second line of the state song.
Oh, it is. It is, Rick, and we appreciate it, but it does offer us some challenges.
So what happened to Johnny?
What do you mean?
Oh,
nothing happened to Johnny. That's the point. That's the point of the story. He had to keep those heels down in order to make sure he got off the roof safely.
I got you. And that's another thing we just talked about. We talked about cougar paws. Cougar paws, another one of those tools, something that we use. And unfortunately, when you get comfortable being on roofs, you tend to maybe not put your cougar paws on every time like you should do.
Yeah.
But Scotty, as he just said, I might have been tempted not to put my cougar paws on. Thank goodness he did put them on. And somebody like Johnny, who is just learning to get on these roofs and acclimating himself, he's going from a lower pitch to a steeper and steeper and steeper pitch. So he has to do all of the things right every single time and never put himself in that. But the cougar paws are a special boot that we have that comes up above your ankle, gives you very good support for your ankles because you're in all kinds of angles, and has Velcro straps that strap across your arch and your toes and things like that. So you're really in the boot. And then on the bottom of the boot, it has a removable
high-density foam sole.
Wow.
Yeah. And that sole...
it's like a sponge. It's
exactly,
very, very
but
porous.
it will give you traction on the shingles.
I've
now,
never even
those
seen
soles are removable because they wear out.
Right.
Okay.
The gritty surface of the shingle
so
wears
you
them down.
just pull the sole out, throw it away, and put a new one on there.
My
So
goodness,
those are cougar paws, and they're another very important tool for us.
Two big tricks of the trade.
There you go.
Louis Grizzard was the name of that author. I was trying to remember. One of his other books was Shoot Low Boys, They're Riding Shetland Ponies.
That's funny.
I mean, that almost sounds like it should be a Jerry Clower line.
Well, it's, it's in that level. Eric, it's stormy time now. We got to keep this show on the road. Here's our after the storm or before the storm tip. We have big weather coming in later this week.
Well,
who
knows?
We didn't have it yesterday.
We'll see if we do when it happens, right? That's the way it always is.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter whether you're before the storm or you're after the storm. You still need to have your roof inspected. You need to know the condition of your roof. You need to know if you need some minor maintenance repairs. You need to know if you need something major done, or you need to know if you need to call your insurance company, file an insurance claim, and start down that path of getting your roof replaced. The only way you're going to know that for sure is to have someone who truly knows what they're doing up on your roof to evaluate that. And we tell people all the time that every roofer is not an inspector. In fact, I'll tell you that very few roofers are credentialed, qualified inspectors who are there with your best interest as a client at heart. So that's what we say when we say call McRoof, talk to Carly, get on the schedule, have Scotty or one of my other qualified inspectors come out and get on your roof. And when we get finished, you're going to have photographs, you're going to have a narrative, you're going to know what problems and issues exist on your roof. If you need to file an insurance claim, you're going to be given specific instructions as to exactly what to say, what the date of the loss was, what kind of damage exists, and let the insurance company know that your roof was inspected by a professional and that you want that professional to be present when they come out to do your adjuster appointment. So call Carly. Call her at 855-766-3405 and schedule your inspection today.
And that was brought to you by Roof RX. I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm at today. Roof RX, the prescription for your ailing roof.
There you go.
So let's transition from inspectors to adjusters. We're rapidly running out of time. We don't have time for anyone else to call. So what are the three types of adjusters that McRoof deals with?
Well, let's start out like this. We're talking about who actually these people are employed by. Okay? That's really what I was looking for. So we have staff adjusters. So what would that tell you, Scotty? A staff adjuster works for an
insurance company.
Right. Okay. Then we have independent adjusters who work for themselves.
They're a private contractor, or they work for a firm that specializes in only conducting inspections on behalf of an insurance carrier.
There you go. And then they are ultimately hired by the insurance company to go out. So in other words, the insurance company is feeing out this adjuster appointment. Okay. And then the third kind of adjusters that we see are called, Scotty, public adjusters, okay?
I had a brain fog moment.
And a public adjuster is someone that you might hire if you got in a situation where you were not satisfied with the progress of your insurance claim, and a public adjuster will work for you, the insured, to represent you in your battle with the insurance company.
All right. The lawyer says I have to tell you again. S&CM LLC, doing business as McRoof.us, legally operates under Oklahoma registration number 8000002, and that the registration applies to both residential and commercial roofing. Dad's wisdom.
Well, this is thanks to my good friend Walt Disney. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Walt Disney.
Folks, we are out of time for this abbreviated show on today's McRoof Talks Insurance. We will be back next week with a full hour, and we'll all be here ready to take your
calls.
calls.
There you go. Benny, thanks for calling, and Scotty will talk to you Monday. Y'all have a great weekend.
$15:20 KOKC. Stand by for OU Sooner baseball right here on KOKC.